agent, okay, before the model callback. As you can see here, so we do have like no greeting agent. So greeting agent, it is to do the greet only purpose, and it is using like two called say hello. And again, the farewell agent, we do have it. And this farewell agent is also going to make use of like the Gemini model. So both of the agents are going to make use of like the Gemini model, and it is also going to do only this farewell agent task by calling this say goodbye tool, by calling the say goodbye tool. And also we are going to define like root agent model guardrail and then runner root model guardrail. The intention of this program is to update this root agent model again. So it is going to make sure that whether it is going to check whether all the components before proceeding, whether the greeting agent is available, farewell agent, or get whether stateful, or else block keyword guardrail, because these four things we have just updated with this multi-agent model. And we are going to make you execute this root agent based on like no basically from Gemini model. And we also know define like no updated version like v5. So weather agent, since from the version 1, we keep on update with the advanced techniques, tools and techniques. So right now we are with the version 5 for better clarity. So where we are going to make use of like no root agent model. So which means what Gemini model we are going to make use of it. And the description, it is to you delegate for the other agents, a message for the other users, or for the documentation or for the human readable text. And next is instruction, it's the prompt. Okay, we are just allowing the agent to read this instruction, okay, to make the model to respond to the user's request based on the instructions given by this system prompt. And in this program we are going to make use of the get weather tool and sub agents. We do have it like greeting agent, farewell agent. So inside the greeting agent we do have the hello tool and we do have say goodbye tool. So both the tools have been specified inside this agent. And we also use the output key which stores like no last weather report. And also we do have like no before model callback, which means what we are just going to add on the block keyword guardrail. So finally, we are running this agent using the runner. Okay, so we are going to no call out this root agent model guardrail, and we are going to make no to store the previous conversations. We are just using like no session service stateful for the memory purpose. So finally, we are just checking out the definition of defining the model reason model of weather agent v5. And we are going to create some interact to test this model, okay, input guardrail. So basically we are going to test with three different unique inputs. So what's the weather in London, and next one is the block the request from the Tokyo, and hello again. So basically here this is going to execute normally, allow the model to execute, and the last one hello again is going to execute normally because these two user request doesn't have the word called block, but the second request has the word called block. So before the model thinks, the guardrail is going to take action in order to prevent executing the model, and it is going to send the guardrail response as a message, right? From its conversation it's going to run it. So when we execute this program, and finally we are printing like all the statement for the output, like no guardrail trigger flag, and then whether it is true or false. Basically, by default, it has been set as false, but only if it is triggered, it is going to um, get into. Then, what is the last weather report? What is the temperature unit? You see here. So, the first the user request is what's the weather in London. And right now, based on the version 5 weather agent, it is going to make a callback to the block keyword guardrail. See, first of all, it is running only the guardrail coding. Are you getting it? So the agent will first execute only the safety, no, say security, safe check for the safety and then security. And it is going to inspect the last user message for context, okay? For and also it's going to allow the LLM model for the weather agent v5. So it is going to call back like all these no step-by-step process, and it is based on the request. It's going to call the get weather, and again after getting the weather, it is again calling the block keyword for running for the agent, and also inspecting once again the last because again it is going to inspect the last user message for context, and then the keyword is not found, and keyword is not found, right? So it is going to for each and every action, because it is going to check the call guardrail for this tool. So once the tool is triggered, then again the model agent is checking with the guardrail for this tool. whether it is returning with any block the message or not. So only if it is, if the keyword is not found, only that response is going to print by the agent. So when the user gives the request, the guardrail has been initiated to execute, to invoke it, as well as when there is any tool calling any execution of the code, then which means the agent wants to return some text, which means before sending the output, so that also it is going to check. So both input and then output, the model guardrail is actually checking. So this is the output and this is the input. So once if it is clear, then it is showcasing the output. So right now the second message, it's the user request has the block keyword. So it is not running, executing the um, uh, model, since it detects the block call. So it is going to respond with the agent is going to respond with the message what we have just defined for the block message. So next, for the third context, just where the user is giving like hello again. So the agent is going to just check with the guardrail model, and it is going to check the input, and also it is going to check with the output, and it is going to display the result for the agent. So finally, whether the trigger in the session, the whether it is triggered or not. Yes, it is triggered, right? So what is the weather report? So last weather report it doesn't showcase, and the temperature might be the Fahrenheit, because in the previous session state the temperature was Fahrenheit. So that is what it is showcasing right now.